You've probably seen this on social media. Lululemon is suing Costco for selling knockoff versions of its clothing. According to a lawsuit, Lululemon claims Costco sold unlicensed apparel. The athleisure company says Kirkland Signature, Costco's store brand, is selling similar clothes at a fraction of the price. Lululemon wants to recover full financial losses and also asked the court to require Costco to stop selling those products. So our 9 News legal expert, Whitney Traylor, is here to break it all down. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good to be here.
It's good to have you. This has been so interesting. This has taken over my social media account. So we want to start with, what are the claims that Lululemon is making in this lawsuit against Costco?
Right. So this is an intellectual property claim. So they're essentially saying, hey, you're using our patents unlawfully. And I think really a crux of this lawsuit is the fact that Costco is not distinguishing. So they're sort of playing on Lululemon's goodwill and their apparel. And so Lululemon is saying, hey, we have this gear that's, in the hundreds of dollars. You're selling for $8 or $9. People think it's Lululemon or it looks just like it, and they're not distinguishing it. And I think about the movie, this is probably before your time, Coming to America. And in Coming to America, they had McDonald's and McDowell's and the Big Mac and the Big Mick and the Golden Arches and the Golden Arcs, and so it was very similar to McDonald's, but they didn't make the distinction like, hey, this is actually something different. So that's really the crux of it. And I think you see there behind us the picture of the pants, and that's actually a picture from the complaint. And so you see on the left is the Costco, the Kirkland brand, and on the right is the Lululemon. And I don't know why everything's so wrinkled there, but when I see it, I don't see the similarities, but that's how this case will be proven with experts to say, here's how they're actually infringing.
Sure. Now, what is Costco saying? How is Costco defending itself?
Right. Well, so the complaint was just filed, so Costco hasn't filed its answer yet, but I know that Lululemon sent a cease and desist in November, and Costco actually pulled some of that material. So I think that's going to be very relevant in the lawsuit, and it could work both ways, because Lululemon could say, hey, you actually acknowledged that there was some similarities, you pulled the stuff. On the other hand, Costco could say, we disagree, but we, in the spirit of compromise, we pulled that, and now there's nothing similar. So that will definitely be relevant if this goes to trial.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, we know if we look back at history, this is not the first time Lululemon has pulled something like this.
Yes.
Let's kind of look back and break into that.
Yeah, so it was with Peloton. And Peloton had its apparel, and Lululemon made the same claim. This was in 2021. Well, that went on for about 2 years, and they ultimately ended up settling, and the resolution was they formed a partnership, a 5-year partnership, where Lululemon was the exclusive provider of that apparel. So, and that's really the benefit of lawsuits, in the sense that you can come up with a creative settlement yourself. So maybe there's going to be some relationship with Costco and Lululemon as a result of this. I don't necessarily see that there, but that's possible.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But I think the big question at the bottom of all of this, how is it going to affect the consumer?
Well, it's interesting because you were mentioning it's all over your feed, and I didn't realize this. So there's this whole thing about dupes. And so, and they're calling it, people are saying, for example, Costco's, their half zip pullover is $8. They're saying it's a dupe of the scuba pullover, which is $118. Or the jockey ladies yoga jacket, which is $22, is Lululemon's Define jacket, which is $128. So there's a lot of folks who are saying, look, in these hard economic times, this is what we have to do. We can't afford the real deal, so we'll go for the dupe. So I don't know. This has actually, I think, been beneficial to Costco, because people are running out to get the dupes.
Sprinting.
Right. But you said, hey, I got to have the brand. I got to have the Lululemon on there. So there's some people like you who are saying, no, it's different. And you also mentioned you wanted to see if it feels different. I haven't heard about that, like, hey, is the quality the same? But in a sense, I think this is ultimately going to help the consumer, just because I think Costco is going to try and do what it can. Lululemon is going to probably try and work out a resolution. So ultimately, I think maybe it's going to help the consumer on the price front, but we'll see. But it's an interesting trend on this whole dupe thing, because I hadn't heard that. I'm out of the loop on the social media.
There's a dupe for everything. I mean, it could be clothing. clothing, a dupe for Chick-fil-A sauce. I mean, there's dupes everywhere for
Okay.
everything.
So that's the trend. All right,
Yeah,
let me jump
yeah.
on board then.
Whitney, thank you so much. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Yep, good to be here.